What's inside the world's most secret church? Or is it? Have you ever wondered what really happens inside a Latter-day Saint temple? Most people think it's secret, but the truth is, it's sacred. The reason behind it? That might surprise you. Temples are not just another church building. They're where heaven and earth meet. A place so sacred that only those who prepare themselves can enter. But why? Why does it matter? And what do people do inside that's so significant it can transform not just their lives, but their eternities? Let me take you on a journey inside these walls, and by the end of this video, you'll see how these sacred spaces connect us to God, each other, and to a divine plan that's bigger than anything you've imagined. Temples are often misunderstood. But what if I told you they're not about exclusivity or about inclusivity? They're built for everyone, not just for the here and now, but for eternity. You might have seen photos of these beautiful buildings or even walked through during an open house. But what happens after the doors close and the temple is dedicated? That's where the real story begins. Inside, members perform ordinances, sacred acts that bind them to God and to their families forever. It's not a casual experience, it's deeply personal. But here's the twist. Many of these ordinances aren't even for themselves. They're for people who've already passed on. Did you know the church has the largest genealogical collection in the world? 3 billion records are preserved inside a mountain in Utah, helping members find their ancestors. But why? We believe everyone deserves the chance to receive the blessings of the gospel, even after death. For example, members can perform baptisms on behalf of their deceased loved ones. Imagine standing in a baptismal font surrounded by 12 oxen, representing the 12 tribes of Israel, and being part of something eternal. It's a powerful moment, but it's only the beginning. After baptisms, there are other ordinances, the endowment, where members learn about God's plan for His children. And did you know these teachings go back to ancient times? They're rich with symbolism from Adam and Eve to the creation of the world. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. Temples aren't just about the individual, they're about families. But here's the catch. Families aren't automatically sealed together for eternity. That requires a special ordinance. Through temple sealings, husbands and wives, parents and children are bound together, not just till death do us part, but forever. And therefore, temple becomes more than just a building. It becomes a bridge between generations. Imagine looking into the eyes of your loved ones, knowing that no matter what happens in this life, you're bound together in the next. It's a promise that brings hope and healing, even in the darkest times. I'll never forget the first time I entered a temple. I had doubts, fears, and 100 questions. But as I walked through each room, I felt something I couldn't explain: peace. In the celestial room, the most sacred part of the temple, I sat quietly and thought about my younger brother who had passed away. And then it hit me. Through the temple, I could help him. I could give him the chance to accept the gospel, even though he was no longer here. That realization changed everything for me. It wasn't just about me anymore. It was about him, about my family, and about God's incredible plan of mercy and love. Some people think the temple is about rules and restrictions, but the truth is about freedom. It's about stepping out of the noise of the world and into a space where you can feel God's presence. It's not a club or an exclusive group. It's an invitation, open to anyone willing to prepare their hearts and minds. And therefore, it's a place of transformation where we learn who we are, why we're here, and what's next. So, What happens inside a temple? Everything. Transformation, connection, and eternal promises. It's a place where we prepare for what's to come, for who we're meant to become. And here's the best part. It's not just for the people who enter. It's for their families, their ancestors, and even for the world. But here's my question for you. What if this was true? What if God really did have a plan for you? A plan that connects you to Him and to those you love forever. Wouldn't you want to know more? Let's explore it together. Temples aren't just buildings. They're where heaven meets earth. And if that's true,